Hello, everybody.
What's up?
It's officially the holiday season, so happy holidays. I'm Dr. Olivia Joseph. This is
Dr. Anthony Pasek.
We're the functional medicine practitioners at the Wellness Connection, and what we want to do is talk to you about ways to minimize your toxic intake through this holiday season. Because the one thing about toxicity is it accumulates. So when you're more stressed, you exercise less, you don't sleep as good, you make worse dietary choices, you forget to take your supplements, you don't exercise, you drink more, eat more sugar. That has a compound effect.
Right.
And this is no surprise. So statistically, I just read this yesterday that 58% of Americans are more depressed and stressed during the holiday season. So we have this perception of holiday music and Christmas lights and Christmas movies and Christmas food and Christmas candles and holiday parties that,
Right.
woohoo, it's all joyful. But the reality of it is, maybe not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the stress, the financial stress, it's the food stress, the family stress. So we want to make sure, A, that you support your body, but that you implement more practices that help with detoxification so that the holidays are not your least favorite time of year, the time where you're sick, in bed, miserable, can't sleep, gain a bunch of weight. Otherwise, we'll be talking to you in January about detoxification and jump-starting your weight loss and your mood. So habit lifestyle-wise, what is something that you think of that's a very good protectant against toxins? And that's super general. We'll be more specific here.
Sure. Well, you got to get rid of that stuff in two ways. Like, you're going to pass it out through your bowels, or it's going to come out through your skin and your sweat or your urine. But those are really kind of the biggest ways that you can get rid of stuff. So any ways that you could optimize those, increasing your sweat through exercise or through like a sauna or something, or making sure.
I'm just going to say that. If you have access to a sauna, like, this is the time of year to use it.
Right.
Like, we are in cold, flu, COVID season right now.
Right.
So it's good for detoxification, cellular health, cellular regeneration. It's good for mood too, if you have access to that. And if you don't, then you could try to accomplish it other lifestyle ways. Exercising, meditating, journaling. Make time for those things this time of year. When you're sitting in the parking lot, when you're sitting in traffic, just throw on a little guided meditation and do it, because from a cellular standpoint, it really works.
Right.
Water. I want to touch on the water. That's always the first thing I think of is water-soluble toxins leave your body first.
Yep.
That's where you have to drink enough water. What do people do this time of year?
Don't
drink enough water. You know why? Because it's too cold, because I forgot my water bottle, or because while I'm shopping and finding parking and going from store to store, I don't want to have to pee.
Right.
Crappy reasons not to drink water. It's very important you stay hydrated and also that you absorb your water. So what are ways you can make your water more absorbable?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think I know the answer.
Electrolytes, magnesium.
Got it.
Magnesium will also keep your nervous system from shorting out if you're more stressed. So do not skip your vitamins this time of year. What'd I say? Do not skip your vitamins this time of year. It's a very good time of year to be taking your vitamin D, your magnesium, your probiotics. Nobody said you have to drink ice cold water. It could be room temperature, it could be hot tea, but continue to monitor your water intake. Fat-soluble toxins are removed from the bowel. So how do we get rid of fat-soluble toxins through the bowel?
Well, you got to make sure your liver's working and your gallbladder. So
you got to make sure you're pooping.
Yeah.
If you don't poop, you are going to be more toxic. So what are some things you could do to make yourself poop?
Yeah, well, if you're not, you can do some aloe. It's a great way to get stuff moving. The right kind of magnesium can be a laxative.
Yes.
Even as basic as like some salt water.
Exactly. I was going to say, putting salt in your water helps turn your water into an electrolyte, but it helps pull water into your bowels. And then we do sometimes make the bowels move with magnesium, or aloe is great for that.
Right.
But keeping your water intake up, keeping your exercise going, your vegetable intake high. I know there's not a lot of fruits in season right now. I mean, right now you've got like pears and clementines, that's about it. Pomegranates, totally loaded with fiber. So think about a lot of vegetable and even like good resistant starches, like cooked and cooled rice, sweet potatoes, cooked and cooled potatoes, celery root, plantains, rutabaga, parsnips. Foods that are in season right now They're really rich in resistant starches, which is good for your gut. And don't skip your probiotics this time of year. Actually, right now, I'm taking this one home right now. It's called Ultraflora Immune Booster to help prevent cold, flu. And let's talk a little bit about sugar. Sure. Because when you start eating all this sugar during the holiday season, be it cookies, candy, alcohol, pie, when you're doing more of this, you're usually doing less of the good stuff, right? So it's not the end of the world to do these things in moderation. It's if you're doing too much of them and you drop your other healthy habits like drinking water, exercising, sleeping, taking your vitamins, that's when these things compound. So it's just really important not to let this go just because it's the holiday season.
You know, I hear people tell me a lot, like, I couldn't, like, I had that dinner, or like, I know something's coming up this weekend, so like, I just didn't do anything, you know? You throw the baby out with the bathwater, where you're like, it's this all or nothing mentality. And I don't think that's the right way to go.
It's not in any type of healthcare. Yeah, it's not.
The little things will build up and be cumulative, even if you're not 100% compliant with everything you should be doing. You're still going to have benefit if you do some of the right things.
Exactly. Because those some of the right things, as you said, are cumulative, will help balance out that one dinner, that one party. And that's what I say to people about Thanksgiving. I'm like, it's one day. It's not like the entire day and the entire weekend. Be good and go out with a bang during that one meal because it's one meal. And people talk about the holiday season. I'm like, it's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. You know what I mean? And usually you don't do anything till Christmas Eve at night. And then you have, like, it's a day. Don't let that. And so let's talk a little bit about emotional stress. So some people get really stressed mentally and emotionally. Maybe the cost associated with the season, or the financial stress, the busyness, being around family members maybe you don't want to be around, or missing family members that aren't around. Like, dealing with those things mentally and emotionally, what are some ways to protect yourself from that type of toxicity?
Well, everybody has at least one or two things that they really love to do, and it's not the same for any two people. You know, beating up a punching bag might be great for somebody, but that's the worst nightmare for somebody else. You know, listening to some stand-up comedy, or, you know, watching a scary movie, or like reading a book, or going for a walk in the woods. Like, finding that thing for you that's like your happy space and your happy time and moment is really critical to be able to, you know, release endorphins and calm down cortisol. And like, you know, we all know just instinctively what some of those things are. Sometimes, unfortunately, you know, we don't ever have like joyful moments or experiences like that. So just identifying what would those things be and really making time for those things to happen is number one. Yeah. That's
perfectly said, because what is joyful to one person might not be to another. Yeah. If it really and truly is not joyful to you to go to every holiday party, then guess what? You're allowed to say no, or you're allowed to pick and choose the ones you really want to go to and surround yourself with the people you really want to be around. If you're going to be in a situation that maybe you're around people you don't want to be around, or maybe it's a sad situation for you, or maybe it's a stressful situation for you socially, like, how can you prepare yourself for that event? And again, it's okay to say no. You get to, in some way, shape, or form, limit some of the intake coming in. So just keep that in mind. So I think that the exercise is a great way to deal with emotional stress. It really is. And some people love it and some people hate it. But for those that hate it, like frisbee golf, right? Or going for a walk in nature, still exercise. Love it. You know, where for me, I just want to jump on a treadmill, I want to run for 20 minutes, and I want to check the box. And I know that it makes me a better, nicer, happier person that is more patient and kind, and I sleep better and make better dietary choices. That's my box. What's your box? So this is where we'd like you to share. Post in the comments healthy coping mechanisms. Okay, post in the comments ways you minimize stress and toxicity. I pick up my supplements. I take extra supplements during this season. I take, you know, glutathione or Glutaclear with NAC. I boost my immune boosting supplements. I boost my probiotics, because I'm like, why would I put those on the back burner? But that's my belief system, right? Like, so whether it's psychosomatic, which we know it's not, but it doesn't matter. It makes me feel like I'm doing something to shield myself from what's going on physically, chemically, and emotionally in the environment this time of year.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add to that?
You know, if you know that you really react poorly to, you know, foods that you are going to be exposed to, take a digestive enzyme or something that's going to break down gluten or something.
Absolutely.
Like if you know that's going to happen, give yourself at least a little bit of some slack by helping your body to break those proteins down so they're not going to be as impactful on you. So.
And I love being proactive with inflammation too, whether it's starting your day with a shake or a smoothie that's going to minimize inflammation, Inflamacor, Ultra, Inflamex, or taking things that naturally reduce inflammation in the body if you know you're putting more in, or you don't have as much control over what you're eating this holiday season. I'm like, who puts it in your mouth? Does somebody else feed you? I get it. Like it's have fun. Have fun this holiday season. It's not about being perfect. It is about being joyful. But what brings you joy? Be conscious and aware of that, because that's the way to win over the holiday season. And I hope it's beautiful and joyful and you get everything you want. And maybe you're someone who loves all the Christmas parties and the Christmas shopping and the wrapping of gifts. Awesome for you. Spread some of that joy to some of the other people that maybe get a little overwhelmed this time of year. And guess what? If you're not perfect, we're going to be here all through January, guiding you through detoxification and weight loss and immune boosting protocols. But don't forget the foundational basics, okay, guys? Happy, healthy holidays. We'll see you next week. Post in the comments. Share, inspire others to stay healthy physically, chemically, mentally, emotionally this holiday season. Bye.
Bye.